Okay, now we're going to take a look at Abby's underwater butterfly view. And as she's moving forward here, you can see her chin is tucked and she's coming over the top. I like her eyes being straight down at the bottom. Again, the head and hands enter at the same time. And when that happens, it puts you in a position where you're still trying to finish your kick. At this point, your head, Abby, should be lower in the water. So your head should be here, your hips should be here, and your legs should be straight and finishing into this part of the catch. So you're in a position where the arms are a little bit higher than the body, and you're ready to start catching water. And typically what you see from these positions, if we had this here, your hips here, and your hands up here, it creates an inverted triangle. And we really look for that in terms of butterflyers. What I will do is send you a side-by-side view of you and another swimmer, another butterflyer that we had on the team, and how she gets in that position. And again, breathing at the right time, having the thumbs down as they come around in terms of your butterfly, and finishing your stroke at the hips, closer to the hips, closer to your body. Like I said, being able to rub the thumb against the thigh puts you in a better position as you're entering after your breath with your head earlier, so that when you enter with your hands, they're not on the same plane, they're not equal and entering at the same time. So what happens in the next frame is you reach forward, and you should already be at the longest point when you start that way. And as you're reaching forward, you can see your hands then are going to go down and then back up. So when I'm looking at your hands, they're pointed back up towards the other end of the pool. So that's creating drag. You're pushing yourself backwards a little bit, and you're compensating for the fact that that late breath happened, and then your hands entered early, and it created that kind of pitch where your hands are going to be pushing you backwards a little bit. And we just want to be a little bit more straight with that. So then when you get to this point, again, by having the early entry and the hands coming back up, you end up in a position where your elbows are dropped. So if I draw a line here, you're trying to catch water, and this is more pushing you upward because your forearms are almost flat at this point. And really, your hands should be compared to your body line, and then your hands should be here. So you should be in a position where you're catching the water with high elbows and pressing yourself forward in your breath from that position. And I think you're going to be best served seeing your fly alongside somebody else. So I got a person that I'll do that with. The next thing that I'm seeing with your fly again is right here. As you're coming over, you can see the width of your hands and how far apart they are. So at this point, your hands should be 2 to 3 inches apart, and I kind of showed that on the overview, so that your hands are underneath the body pulling you forward. That's going to give a lot more strength to the pull, and at that width, it's not going to be as powerful. So then as you come through, again, that keeps the hands very wide, and then again, hands are away from the body, away from the legs, and it creates an early exit and less time to get those hands forward for you to be able to take that breath and get the head down ahead of the hands. Instead, they're entering at the same time of the hands. So, and now we're just going to go in and watch the turn. I'm going to compare you to another athlete, and that'll give you a little bit more of an idea of what I'm talking about. As you're coming into the turn, again, the one thing that we do want to do a little bit better with, and I think you did a little bit better job from the above you on the other 25, but on this one, we're reaching back up towards the wall. We want our hips up here, and we want to be reaching down towards the wall, or on the same level. And that will put us in a better position to start the turn. Otherwise, your head's up, and it'll be harder to create that tuck, that fast tuck with the knees underneath the chest. So as you come up, you're kind of coming back up to the wall, and you can just see it widens out the tuck, so your knees are a little bit too low and a little bit away from the body instead of tucking in tight. As you come over, as you get to this point, would like to see this bottom arm on this turn. You can see it's here, it's back here. We already want to have it so it's bent a little bit, but it's already out in front. So the above arm comes and creates that streamline. And you can see the above arm's kind of entering the water, and that should, right behind the head, right where you have it. But that other arm should be up with it so that you're creating your streamline as you're pushing off already. And you're just a little bit late for that. So creating a little more drag before you push off the wall than what we'd like. Now here you get the streamline. The push off depth is very good, so you're pushing off in a good line for your kick out. First kick looks pretty good. We want to be a little bit deeper with the kick. So if I back it up a frame or two, which I'm going to do, you can see your feet are on line with the body. Again, we want to kick the feet a little lower, so they want to be just a little below the knee. The feet need to finish below the knee. And you can see they kind of never got there. So that's, again, an area of opportunity, an area to get better with your kick. You want to straighten those legs and kick the feet down below the knees. You can see here your kick's driven a little bit more from the knees down rather than the hips. We want to get a little more hip flex into that kick. So you're starting to kick a little bit more in your core instead of just from the knees down. Again, like I said before, I think that there's a lot of good elements to your butterfly. We just need to straighten out the hands, keep the thumbs down, reach out in front with a straighter arm, finish your stroke back further and towards the leg. This is all going to straighten out your timing because the timing's off a little bit, and that'll give you a little bit more speed and power in your fly. And again, I'm going to compare you to another athlete, and I think that will give you a better idea of what you need to do to get better in your butterfly and where you're different than them.